Hey, so what if I told you that there's an AI that doesn't just use one model, it uses 19 of them? Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, all working together at the same time, and it picks which one to use based on what you ask it to do. That's not a concept, that's not a pitch deck. That's a real product called Perplexity Computer. Remember that name. And yesterday, at their very first ever developer conference, they took it even further. They announced something called Personal Computer. It's super cool. An always-on AI that runs 24/7 on a Mac Mini virtually. You don't have to go purchase a Mac Mini and go through that whole thing with it possibly being sold out. This is a Mac Mini virtually with full access to your files, your apps, your email, your everything while you sleep. Oh, and 2 days before that, a federal judge just handed down a landmark ruling in a lawsuit between Amazon and Perplexity that could change the entire AI agent industry. Yeah, that's a lot to unpack here. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand all of it. So let's get into it. What's up, everyone? I'm Roshan, and this is AI Heavy, where we break down AI tools and strategies that actually help you make money and get to the frontier. So today, we're going to go deep on Perplexity. Not the search engine you might already know. I'm talking about their new AI agent platform that's trying to do something nobody else is doing. We're covering what Perplexity Computer actually is, why we're using 19 different AI models instead of building their own, and what this new personal computer, what does this mean? The Amazon lawsuit that has massive implications for the whole AI industry, whether $200 a month price tag is actually worth it, and how this all compares to Claude Cowork and OpenAI. This is a meaty one. I promise that by the end of this video, you're going to see the AI landscape completely different. So stick around, especially for the lawsuit section, because that affects everyone building with AI agents right now. Okay, so let's just start with the basics here. What is Perplexity Computer? Most of you probably know Perplexity as a search engine. It's been around for the better part of a couple of years. And you type in a question, it searches the web and gives you a summarized answer with pretty good sources. Cool, useful, but that's like knowing Apple as the iPod company. That's not what they're known about today. Perplexity Computer launched February 25th. It's a completely different, separate product. It's an AI agent platform. And the way I describe it is, imagine you could hire a digital employee, not a chatbot, not an assistant that answers questions, an actual worker that takes your instructions, breaks them down into tasks, does the work, and comes back with real result. So here's how it actually works. You give it a high-level goal, something like research my top 5 competitors, analyze their pricing strategies, and put together a report with recommendations. A normal AI would try to do all of those in one shot and probably hallucinate half the details. Perplexity Computer does something different. It takes that goal and it breaks it into subtasks. Then it spins up specialized sub-agents, little AI workers. Each one focuses on a specific piece. One agent handles the web research. Another one does the data analysis. Another one writes the report. And an orchestrator sits on top making sure everything fits together. And okay, so here's where it gets wild. These aren't quick little tasks. Perplexity says workflows can run for hours, days, even months. You can kick off a project, close your laptop, go live your life somewhere on the beach or wherever you want to be at, and come back to some finished work. I like the sound of that. It connects to over 400 apps: Gmail, Slack, GitHub, Notion, Salesforce, HubSpot, Snowflake, whatever. You pick your poison, you name it. And everything runs in an isolated cloud environment. So it's not touching your actual computer. It's working on its own in a secure sandbox in the cloud. Think of it like if ChatGPT is a really smart person that you're texting, Perplexity Computer is a whole team you hired that works in their own office. You give them the assignment, they figure out who does what, and then they just go and deliver. That alone will be impressive, but the thing that makes this truly different from anything else out there right now is what's happening underneath the hood. And that's the multi-model approach. So let me explain why that matters. Here's the thing that separates Perplexity Computer from literally every other AI agent on the market right now. Every other company, Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, they build their own model and they use that one model for everything. Claude does Claude things. ChatGPT does ChatGPT things. Gemini does the Gemini thing. Perplexity said, nah, we're using all of them. And I don't mean they just picked a couple. They're orchestrating approximately 19 different AI models. So let me break down the ones we know about. Claude Opus, that's Anthropic's most powerful model, handles the core reasoning and orchestration. It's basically the brain, the project manager. It figures out what needs to happen and coordinates everything. Gemini, Google's model, gets the deep research queries. Need to dig through complex topics and synthesize information from dozens of sources. That goes to Gemini. GPT 5.4, OpenAI's model, handles long context recall, expansive web search. When the task needs a massive context window or broad information gathering, that's where it goes. And then you got Grok. That's Elon's model for XAI. Picks up lightweight speed, sensitive tasks, quick answers, fast turnarounds. They even have Google's Nano Banana for image gen and VO for video generation built into the pipeline, which is really cool. And sitting above all that is what they call a meta router. So it's basically a traffic cop. Every time a task comes in, the meta router evaluates what kind of task it is, how complex it is, and how fast it needs to happen. Then it sends it to whichever model is best for that specific job. So here's the philosophy behind this. I think it's actually really smart. Perplexity CEO has basically said AI models are specializing, not converging. Everyone else is trying to build one model that does everything. Perplexity is betting that the real value is in knowing which model to use and when. So think of it like building a house. You wouldn't hire one person to do the plumbing and the electrical and the roofing and the painting, right? That's just madness. You're going to hire a specialist. That's exactly what Perplexity Computer does, except instead of contractors, it's AI models. For instance, last week they had Kimi 2.5 and now they have NVIDIA's new Nemotron. So if tomorrow a new model drops in, that's incredible. At data analysis, they just plug it into the meta router and it starts sending data tasks to it. So your experience keeps getting better without you doing anything. You'll just wake up and there's the latest and greatest model already plugged in. Okay, so enough of the theory. Let me tell you what this thing actually can do. Because features on a spec sheet mean nothing if it doesn't translate to real work and making real money with this stuff. So I would say deep research. Mind you, I have the $200 max plan. I do get a lot of bonus credits. So I got like 50,000 bonus credits. And let me tell you, the deep research and analysis, market research, finding specific lead gen that's in your market, it can't be beat. Perplexity's research tool that they use, whatever research agents that they configured for this stuff, is like bar none. Nothing can compare. And trust me, I've tried. I got ChatGPT Pro, I've got Claude Max, I've got them all, but Perplexity takes the cake. So you can tell it's a researcher topic and it'll just go out, search across the web, pull multiple sources, cross-reference everything, and give you a comprehensive report. It's not a summary from one article. It's a real research document with citations. And I'm talking about deep. Analyze every competitor in this space, compare their pricing, summarize their customer reviews, tell me where there's a gap in the market, just deep stuff. And that's not a 5-minute Google search. Like, we're talking about this thing will go to work for hours if it's that big of a project. And what would have taken me days to figure that out, Perplexity will knock that out. It's 15, 20, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Also, it codes projects. I would not use it for coding personally. I'm more of a deep research and analysis, build a quick landing page that's functional for a specific project. Something that I will use personally is not going to be pushed out to the public. So that's like where Perplexity Computer is for me until this personal computer comes out. That's when things get real. I wouldn't tell it to write me a function or anything like that, but it can create a full project for you. The specifications to deployment, it can plan the architecture, it can write code across multiple files, it'll run tests, it'll debug what breaks. It'll also push it live. One earlier user said they built 2 working micro apps overnight, just described what they wanted, went to bed, woke up to working software. Will it replace a senior dev? No. Can it handle a lot of foundational work and prototyping? Absolutely. But for me, I'm using Codex GPT 5.4 Codex for my deep coding, and I use Claude Code Opus 4.6 for any of the PRD work and writing and things like that. So they're all different. Content pipelines. So this is where it gets interesting for creators. You can tell it to take a topic, research it, create an outline, write a first draft, and edit it. The whole pipeline from blog posts, newsletters, reports, whatever. And because it has browser access, it can go look at what's already ranking, what your competitors published, what angle hasn't been covered yet. It's not writing in a vacuum, it's writing with context. So that's a massive difference from just typing a prompt into a chatbot. Financial analysis. So they partnered with Plaid, the company that connects to your bank and brokerage accounts. So you can link your investment portfolio and ask Perplexity Computer questions about your holdings. What's my sector exposure? How sensitive is my portfolio to interest rate changes? Am I diversified enough? And it pulls real data from SEC filings, FactSet, financial databases, and live market feeds to answer. It's not giving you generic investment advice. It's looking over your actual portfolio and telling you what it sees. And that's pretty wild. And it also created a really cool dashboard. I really do use it for dashboards on all of my projects, just so I can track everything. And these are like active dashboards, and it knocks those out of the park for sure. Also, a cool feature is meeting prep. So if you connect your calendar and email, it can prepare you for meetings. It can pull relevant context, summarize recent conversations with that person, find the last proposal you sent them, highlight key discussion points. And before you walk in, think about that. You go from scrambling to remember what you talked about last time to walking in fully briefed. Okay, so let me give you some real talk about the actual user experience, because I always try to just keep it honest with you. One earlier reviewer said that they were able to build 2 micro apps and 1 automation overnight. That's pretty impressive. Another reviewer, they spent roughly $200 in compute credits on top of the subscription. So building a single web page over 2 days, $200 for 1 page. It depends on how you see that. To me, that's burning through a lot of credits for something like a web page. And that's why I would use something like Claude Code for building out a web page and things like that. But the capability is real. The cost can be unpredictable. And that's something you need to know before jumping in. More on pricing in a little bit. Now, this is the part that got everyone talking this week, because Perplexity Computer, what I just described, that all runs in the cloud. It's powerful, but it's cloud only. It can't touch your actual machine. Now, personal computer, the one I'm really excited about, changes all of that. On March 11th, literally last week, at their very first ever developer conference called Ask 2026 up in San Francisco, Perplexity unveiled personal computer. And the concept is this. They take everything Perplexity Computer can do in the cloud and they bring it to a Mac Mini that sits in your home or office, always on, always running, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But remember, you can have an actual physical Mac Mini, or you can have a virtual Mac Mini. So here's what that means in practice. This Mac Mini has access to your local files, your apps, your browser sessions, Gmail, Slack, GitHub, Notion, everything that runs on your machine. And Perplexity AI is continuously monitoring and ready to act. You can set up triggers. So think of OpenClaw, but much more secure and safer. You can set up triggers. When I get an email from this client, draft a response and flag it for review. When a new pull request from this repo comes in, review the code, summarize the changes. Things like every Monday morning, compile a weekly report for my project management tool, and I email it to the team, or you can email it to the team for me. When this stock drops below a certain price, pull the latest earnings data and send me an alert with context. All of the same things that OpenClaw can do. OpenClaw is very technical, and it has a lot of security issues. There's a lot of malware going on with skills, and it's a lot happening. You can have it, all of a sudden it start emailing exes from the past. It's just crazy. So I'm really excited about this Perplexity personal computer because it's secure, it's contained, it's safe, and it's going to do exactly what you want it to do and nothing else. And it doesn't just react. It can chain things together as well. So one trigger fires, that output feeds into another task, and before you know it, you've got a multi-step workflow that would have taken you hours of running it yourself and end to end, especially without. And so it doesn't just react, it can chain things together. One trigger fires, that output feeds into another task, and before you know it, you've got a multi-step workflow that would have taken you an hour running itself end to end without any input from you. And similar to Open Claude, it does the same kind of things. It works while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're at the gym, because it's not running on your laptop that closes when you close it. It's running on a dedicated machine that never turns off. So think about that. You go to bed, and while you're sleeping, your personal computer is monitoring your inbox, your process data, running reports, organizing files. You wake up and then the work is done. So you never have to go to sleep because you always have something working for you. It's so cool. You can also control it remotely from a device. It does have it is a part of the mobile app. Perplexity Computer is on mobile, not personal computer, but it can go on your phone, your tablet, another computer. It could send tasks from your couch, check on progress from the airport. It's having a personal assistant who literally never clocks out. Okay, now let me connect this to the bigger picture. We've already seen Claude Cowork, which gives you an AI that can use your desktop, but Cowork only works when you're actively using it. You close the app, it stops. Perplexity Personal Computer is always on. It's persistent. It remembers context across sessions. It carries work forward continuously. And because it's running all 19 models through the cloud, but executing locally on your machine, you get the best of both worlds. The intelligence of multi-model orchestration with the access and persistence of a local setup. Is it available? No. It's still on wait list. As of this week, I signed up ASAP soon as I saw the X thread about it, and it's Mac Mini only at launch, specifically M4 Mac Mini. So if you're on Windows or Linux, you have to wait. But the vision is clear. Perplexity isn't just building a chatbot. They're building an AI operating system, a persistent digital worker that lives on a machine you own and does work around the clock. Real talk, that's a fundamentally different vision than what anyone else is offering right now. And whether it actually delivers on that vision, that's what we're all waiting to see. And speaking of staying on top of all these tools that are moving very fast, like really fast, Perplexity Computer didn't exist 2 weeks ago. Personal Computer was announced literally a few days ago. If you're not keeping up, you're falling behind. And that's exactly why I built AI Tool Index. Head over to aitoolindex.io. It's a free newsletter where I break down the latest AI tools, what they actually do, and how you can use them. No hype, no fluff, just the tools that matter, delivered straight to your inbox. And there's also a built-in calculator, so you can add up all of the tools that you would like to use, and it will tell you exactly how much everything will cost with the recurring fees, or if you have a certain subscription, it'll calculate your monthly fees for you in the site right there. So that link is in the description, aitoolindex.io. Go sign up real quick and then come right back, because we need to talk about this Amazon lawsuit, because this is the story nobody's paying enough attention to. All right, so this is the section that I think matters more than any feature announcement, because what happened here could shape the entire AI agent industry for years. And speaking of staying on top of all of this, tools are moving fast, like really fast. Perplexity Computer didn't even exist 2 weeks ago. Personal Computer was announced literally a few days ago. So if you're not keeping up, you're falling behind. That's exactly why I built AI Tool Index. Head over to aitoolindex.io. It's a free newsletter in there where I break down the latest AI tools and what they actually do, how you can use them. No hype, no fluff, just the tools that matter, deliver straight to your inbox every week. And on the site, there's a built-in calculator. So whatever industry you might be working in, there's AI tools that would be beneficial to your industry. And there's a built-in calculator where you can add up certain tools and it'll tell you how much the cost would be every month to run these tools for your particular business. Really cool site. There's nothing like they're out there. So every time something drops like Perplexity computer, personal computer, you'll know about it with context, with my take on whether it's worth your time. So that link is in the description, aitoolindex.io. Go sign up real quick and come right back because we got a lot to talk about with this Amazon lawsuit, because this is the story nobody's paying enough attention to. All right, so this is the section that I think matters more than any feature announcement, because what happened here could shape the entire AI agent industry for years. So let me set the stage. Perplexity doesn't just have computer and personal computer. They also have a product called Comet. Some of you might know about Comet. It's a browser competitor to Chrome or anything like that. And Comet it's AI powered. You open it, you tell it what you want. Find me the best deal on running shoes, or book me a flight to Miami for the weekend. AI goes out, browses the web, compares options, and it handles the transaction for you. It sounds amazing, right? Amazon didn't think so. So back in November 25th, Amazon sued Perplexity. The allegation that Perplexity Comet browser was accessing Amazon's website without authorization. So essentially, Amazon said Perplexity was sending AI bots to scrape their site, browse products, compare prices, and potentially make purchases, all without Amazon's permission. So Perplexity's argument was simple. The user told the AI to go to Amazon. The AI is acting on behalf of the user. The user has the right to browse Amazon, so the AI should too. Amazon said, no, just because a user gives their AI agent permission doesn't mean we gave the AI agent permission. Our platform, our rules. On March 10th, a few days ago, U.S. District Judge Maxine Chesney sided with Amazon. She issued a temporary injunction blocking Perplexity's Comet browser from accessing Amazon's website entirely. Here's why this is a massive deal. The judge found that user permission to an AI agent does not substitute for platform authorization. Let me say that again because this is the key point. Just because you tell your AI agent to do something on a website doesn't mean that website has to allow it. So you got to think about what that means for the entire AI agent economy. Every company building AI agents that interact with websites, shopping agents, booking agents, research agents, just got put on notice. If a platform doesn't want your AI accessing the site, they can get a court order to block it. So all of you builders out there, this might be a pivot. Amazon's argument went even deeper than just scraping. They said AI agents pose security risks to customer data. They create challenges for advertising because you have to filter out AI generic traffic from real human traffic. And this is the part that made me sit up. They argued they were more concerned about eliminating a competitor to their own AI shopping tools than about protecting customers. Perplexity just called this a bully tactic. They said Amazon is scared of competition and using the legal system to slow them down. But here's the thing. Regardless of who you agree with, the ruling stands, and it sets a precedent. Other platforms can point to this case and say, see, we can block AI agents too. Google could do it, Facebook could do it, any major website could potentially restrict AI agent access. And just think about how far that ripples for a second. Every developer building an AI agent that browses the web, every startup building a shopping assistant, a travel assistant, a booking agent, a price comparison tool, they all just watched a federal judge say that the platforms can shut them down. That's not a hypothetical risk anymore. That's case law. It also raises a really uncomfortable question. If the biggest platforms can start blocking AI agents, who benefits? The platforms themselves. Because they're all building their own AI shopping tools, their own AI assistants. Amazon has Alexa and Rufus. Google has Gemini. Apple has Siri. If they can legally block third-party AI agents while pushing their own, that's a competitive moat disguised as a legal argument. And for us, the people actually using these tools or the actual developers, it means the agentic future everyone's excited about might come with a lot more friction than we expected. Your AI agent might be brilliant, but if the website says no bots allowed, it doesn't matter how smart it is. So this is the first real legal test of agentic commerce. And the AI agents lost round one. Okay, so pricing, is it worth it? Let's talk money, because none of this matters if you can't afford it or if the value isn't there, right? So Perplexity Computer requires the max plan or the pro plan, $200 max plan, $20 pro plan. That's $200 a month is steep. And I know I heard a few of you just make a face through the computer. But let me just give you the full picture before you decide. With the max plan, you get 10,000 credits, and they're giving out like 40,000 bonus credits or something right now. So they're running that promotion. That promotion will expire in 30 days. So if you do get the max plan, build. Because after 30 days, those credits go away whether you use them or not. And that's the issue. Credits just don't work the way you'd expect with Perplexity. Every task consumes a lot of credits. It depends. I built several really big, I've ran really big projects, and they'll run me anywhere from 1,500 credits to, I think the most was 3,000 credits, but that was a super deep analysis, market research, and lead gen project in a specific niche nationwide. So that ran me about 3,000 credits, which with that bonus, that's actually not bad. Remember that reviewer I mentioned who spent $200 in compute credits building one web page, and that's on top of the subscription. So your total cost could be $200 for the subscription plus additional credit costs for heavy usage. You got to really be trying to build a web app or front end, back end, full stack to burn through all of those credits plus have to use extended usage or run over usage. I wouldn't use Perplexity for that. As I said earlier, I would use Claude Code for deep, heavy building, or my go-to now is Codex 5.4. Now how I think about this is do the math for your situation. Now, here's how I think about it. You just got to do the math for your situation. If you're a freelancer or agency owner charging clients $1,000+ for projects, and Perplexity Computer saves you 5 to 10 hours of work per project, then $200 a month is nothing. That's just a drop in the bucket for you. It pays for itself for your first project, right? But if you're an executive or founder and your time is worth $200, $300, $400 an hour, and this thing saves you even 1 hour of meeting prep and research per week, easy math, it's worth it. But if you're just getting started with AI, if you're still figuring out how to use ChatGPT effectively, this is probably not where you should be spending your money. Start with the basics, get good at prompting, learn how AI thinks, then come back to this when you have use cases that justify the cost. For someone like you who's a beginner or just getting your feet wet, ChatGPT plus the $20 is fine, right? It does a lot and you do get a lot of usage. OpenAI is very generous with their usage. There's also an enterprise tier with per user pricing and shared credit pools. So if your company is considering this for a team, the unit economics starts looking better as it scales. Real talk, I think $200 a month is aggressive, but Perplexity is betting that people who need this level of AI agentic capability are the people who $200 is a rounding error. And honestly, for that audience, they're probably right. And I am a part of that audience, and I will be keeping my max subscription because I have gotten a lot of value within the first week. Credit usage is a thing. It could be a problem, but I feel if I can sparse out my huge projects, then I'll be okay. Also, I don't know how much personal computer will actually be. I don't know if that will only be on the max plan or if that will be a completely separate pricing. So we'll wait to see. I am on the waiting list, but I don't know how they're going to price out Perplexity personal. So let me put this in context because I know a lot of you are wondering, how does this stack up against other big players versus Claude Cowork? I did a whole video on Claude Cowork. If you haven't seen it, go check that out after this one. Cowork is a desktop app that gives Claude direct access to your computer, files, browser, the whole thing. It's excellent for hand-on work, excellent at writing code, organizing files, building spreadsheets, browsing the web. It's okay at that. The key difference, Cowork uses one model, Claude, Opus 4.6 being their flagship. It's incredibly capable, but it's a single model system. Perplexity Computer uses 19 models, as I said. The flip side, Cowork is included with Claude Pro at $20 a month. Perplexity Computer is 10 times that price, and Cowork only works when you're actively using it, while Personal Computer is designed to run all the time. OpenAI Operator and OpenClaw. AI has their own agent Plaid. Operator is their web browsing agent, and OpenClaw is their open source framework for building AI agents. The difference here is philosophy, right? OpenAI and Anthropic both give you one model and let you build around it. Perplexity gives you a pre-built orchestration layer that manages multiple models for you. If you're technical and want to control, the OpenAI and Claude approach might be better. If you want something that just works out of the box with minimal setup, Perplexity's approach is compelling. So here's the big philosophical question. Is the future one super intelligent model that does everything? Or is it an orchestra of specialized models, each doing what it's best at? OpenAI and Anthropic are betting on one option. Perplexity is betting on option number 2. We won't know who's right for a while, but it's fascinating to watch this thing play out. All right, so let me bring this all together with what you should actually take away from this. Number 1, AI agents are real now. This isn't theoretical anymore. Perplexity Computer, Claude, Cowork, OpenAI Operator, they're all shipping real products that do real work. If you're still thinking of AI as that chat bot I use sometimes, then you're behind. Number 2, multi-model approach is worth watching. Even if Perplexity Computer isn't for you right now, the idea that different AI models are better at different things is absolutely correct. And the companies that figure out how to orchestrate them effectively are going to have serious advantages. Number 3, the legal landscape is about to get messy. That Amazon ruling is just the beginning. As AI agents start doing more and more on the web, shopping, booking, transacting, expect more lawsuits, more regulation, and more platforms pushing back. This is going to be a bumpy road. Number 4, and this is a big one, the people who learn to work with AI agents now are going to have a massive head start. Whether it's Perplexity, Claude, OpenAI, or something that doesn't even exist yet, the skill of knowing how to direct agents, how to break down tasks for them, how to verify their work, that's becoming the most valuable skill in the economy, full stop. So my advice, if you can afford it and you have real use cases, try Perplexity Computer. If you're on a budget, start with Claude Cowork, $20, ChatGPT 5.4, $20, the Plus subscription. Either way, just start building the muscle of working with AI agents because this train is not slowing down. And check it out. If you want to go deeper on this, if you want to be around other people who are actually using AI to build income streams and get ahead, I built a community for exactly that. It's called AI Freedom Lab. It's on School and it's completely free to join. We talk about the tools, the strategies, the workflows. People share what's working for them. We break this down together. It's the spot where you go from watching videos about AI to actually using it to change your life. That link is in the description, school.com/AI Freedom Lab. Come join us. It's free. It's no catch. And if you got value from this video, then hit that subscribe button, drop a comment telling me, are you going to be using Perplexity Computer? Are you doing the max plan? Are you just getting the $20 plan? Are you going to get on the wait list for Personal Computer? Or are you just sticking with Claude or ChatGPT? I genuinely want to know what you all are using this for and what are your use cases. I'm Roshan. This is AI Heavy. I'll see you on the next one.